stresses like vitamin D. And I think you and I agreed on a little bit earlier that magnesium should take that nutrient mineral role to be highly important. I mean,
I agree.
I think vitamin D obviously is a vitamin, but it's also a hormone precursor. Has a lot
Right.
of hype.
I think it's
The
important to know
tissues.
what you're doing because
Yeah.
different types of magnesium have different purposes.
Yeah.
And also, people sometimes will be like, "Oh, let's take them all," but that is not going to be as effective as taking the right kind versus
Yeah.
just throwing the whole kitchen sink at it.
Yeah. 20 different forms of magnesium. It's not,
20.
I mean, that's expensive.
I personally want to look into magnesium L-Threonate more and magnesium bicarbonate, which I personally take and blend myself, which is the only liquid form of magnesium. It is a bioavailable form that's electrolyte salt. Magnesium is something that we could get in our drinking water back in the day. Usually it came in the form of an electrolyte salt. Sometimes it's in foods, it's in meats, it's in minute amounts and different things. Cacao has magnesium in it. But a big issue with our current growing process is that we have a lot of corrosive acids in our food supply that just mess with the vegetation, and there's a lot of NPK fertilizer, which is basically nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus fertilizer that allows our food to grow but doesn't give it the minerals that we would get in our normal food supply. So that's where it's hard to get minerals from the actual food. And then when it comes to the water, we have an issue with a lot of acid rain and a lot of inorganic calcium and potassium that comes into our water supply. And those are already really strong in the food system as well. So when we have bad soil and bad water, we're not getting magnesium like we've been able to get it for thousands of years. And magnesium is an electrolyte that runs over 3,000 processes in the body. One of the most popular reasons that people would take magnesium is in order to go to the bathroom faster. I'm sure you've heard of the disaster pants syndrome with taking excessive magnesium. I believe that magnesium that people usually take, what are the ones that cause that for you, Andre? I know for me it's usually like
Citrate.
a
Citrate's
citrate
really
situation.
common. If you're
Yeah.
getting really cheap magnesium, it's like magnesium oxide that can
hmm
do it for sure.
hmm
But those are the main two that I see commonly on the market that you're like standard Walgreens or something. Maybe the newer formula has ionic magnesium citrate. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a different one that has magnesium citrate with melatonin, GABA.
Melatonin,
Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, oh
like the
wait,
TRT of
melatonin, what the
sleep.
fuck are they doing? It caught me off guard. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, it just has a
magnesium
bunch of
carbonate.
sleep stuff. Jeez. Yeah, this is America. You supplement your melatonin. 5 milligrams, yeah, jeez. I don't see why anyone would turn to things like alcohol, because I know that happens a lot. They're like, they drink, it's the only way to get to sleep. Like, be the friend and be like, dude, stop fucking drinking your shitty beer to
Yep.
send you off to sleep, or wine, whatever it may be.
Stupid.
Take this shit, because it'll do ya. Pretty much what we just looked at in a way with that study. So the first two, the big boys, threonate,
Poppies.
high bioavailability. L-threonate helps with cognition and memory, increases brain magnesium levels quite a bit, which is also probably why my dosage, for example, on my L-threonate is only 144 milligrams. Magnesium glycinate, of course, which is good bioavailability, promotes muscle relaxation, easily absorbed, no laxative effects, which is one of the bigger reasons why it's highly regarded and has bioavailability, of course. Very safe.
It's interesting too to look at
Serum.
magnesium and calcium, how they work together.
Yeah.
Because magnesium regulates the calcium, and people usually get so much calcium from their water system, from their food,
Yeah.
from their supplements. Everything's fortified with calcium, so their body is super high in calcium, and they need magnesium to regulate that calcium. That
Magnesium
is,
stearate. Someone has to have magnesium stearate.
bro, that's the one I have in all my supplements, man. I mean, it's a good question. I mean, most
Yeah.
people see that and they probably think like, oh, it's got magnesium, bro, even though it's under the other ingredients. But
Yeah.
That's the sad part. I bet you that's what people, when they first started using that, like thought. Like they'd see it and be like, oh, people think
Yeah.
there's magnesium in it, so it'll be good for them.
There's magnesium in everything. I promise. Look at all my
I
supplements.
promise. It's like the kind of magnesium that if they were to add magnesium to the foods or to processed food or the water supply, they'd probably add stearate. Like, yeah, bro, because it's the cheapest one. Yeah, there's your magnesium, man. Like how they add. I remember when I saw like a show for magnesium bicarbonate. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I love it. It's so cheap though. It's so easy to make. You can make it with carbonated water and milk of magnesia, like a little science experiment.